Hey guys, it's Eric Croner from Nerdy Geek Talks for all your nerdy geeky needs. Here with episode 6 of Mandalore Mandate. That's right. One of our
We
Star
don't
Wars
mandate it.
we mandate that it is back now though. But yeah, one of our
Oh,
Star
okay.
Wars podcasts is back. And joining me today, we have Luke. How are you doing, Luke?
Good. I mean, we'll explain that one day, but like why we're back and why we weren't back. But that's not my problem right now.
Yeah,
It's like a four. This is how it's like a 4, 5, and 6 thing. We're to come back with like 1, 2, 3, and then boom, stuff will make sense again.
yeah, John's not back for this, but he should be back very soon, so that's okay.
Yep.
Holocron Herald isn't quite back either. We're either going to record an episode. We might try to record an episode this weekend or something, or we'll just get back into the regular schedule in the coming weeks. But either way, that'll be back in, at the very least, a week from now. No, at the very most, a week from now, not the very least. So yeah, this episode, while there is some recent news and stuff, I figured we'd save that. In fact, I already have next week's episode
Oh.
topic ready if
Ah,
no major news comes along because Star Wars Resistance.
yep. First things first. Dave Filoni, maybe Jesus.
Yeah, I was gonna say
No.
this episode though is not Star Wars Resistance. It is Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And while we were gone, the most amazing thing happened.
I sacrificed John just for this.
Yeah, that's actually where John is. He's not coming back. No, but our favorite show has now been revived. I could not believe it. I was excited for the Star Wars: The Clone Wars 10-year anniversary panel, but I wasn't expecting anything. I was just like, oh, it'll be neat to see some clips of the cast together and everything. Like, that's nice and everything. And then I just see a trailer that pops out for, the Clone Wars is getting another season on
You know what?
Disney's new streaming service.
Above all else, like you know how like the one thing we can give Star Wars always credit for, right when we think they're done, they always give us new material for memes.
This is true. Although this is going to be so good. So yes, that's what we're here to talk about today is our expectations and our hopes for the next season of the Clone Wars and also what was previously planned. So, I think we'll start off with that so we can base the rest of what we say off of these. So,
All right,
the
drop that bass.
we have a I'll put the link in the description. But we have there's a subreddit of
Ooh.
a bunch of it's everything we know about the Clone Wars, unfinished Star Wars: The Clone Wars episodes. So it's a compilation of all of the different things, both concept art and stuff that was part of the episode reels and everything. There's the Crystal Crisis on Utapau, which I believe was involving, I think that's the one with Kenobi and Grievous and such that happens.
Hello
That
there.
one's not super important. But that was one of the unfinished episodes that was partially animated and then released. There's Dark
Ooh.
Disciple, which is the oh, what's his name? The
I
tracker.
don't know.
I'm blanking on his name. How can I? He's it's
The tracker?
he hooks up with Asajj Ventress.
Oh, I know what to do with the yellow line across his face.
Yeah, I cannot believe I'm blanking on his name. I know who he is.
Yeah. Oh, I always forget. I always confuse him with other people.
This is gonna bother me.
Dude, if that was a side arc itself, like showing what happens to them, that would be cool.
Well, I doubt it will be since it already was released in a book.
Yeah, I know. It'd be cool to see, though. It would really be cool to see.
It's Quinlan Voss. There we go. But Quinlan Voss and Asajj Ventress, that and also Son of Dathomir were supposed to be part of the Clone Wars, but the Dark Disciple and Son of Dathomir got book releases. Although Son of Dathomir was a comic book.
Yes, man.
Was Dark Disciple a novel or a comic book? I'm pretty sure.
I'm
It
pretty
was a
confident it was a
novel.
novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so those two were released in book form, so they are pretty much definitively off the table. And
Oh.
then The Bad Batch, which was also released in full, and that is like an unfinished animation based on, unfinished animation episode based on the Clone Force 99, known as The Bad Batch, but we'll get to that later. I'm not going to explain what that is right now. Um,
Oh my. Oh, do you remember when? I remember in the middle when we were recording episode. It might have just been me and John, but I think you were there when we were making up our own squad name.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
I couldn't. I know I couldn't say the real name of the squad, and like while we were recording, but I know I texted it to you.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I hate you. But anyways,
Oh my
uh,
god.
there's the bounty hunter arc, which does have some unfinished animation for it as
I don't. Nope.
well,
Nope. I don't want to see it. I don't
which
want. I don't
was
want to see him get shot.
well, it's definitely not gonna. It's implied in canon in two separate places that both Cad Bane lived and Cad Bane died. So it's weird. But this never happened, so we don't know if it's gonna be canon, and we don't know if it'll get put into the final season. My guess is not, but it's the Bounty Hunter arc, which would feature Cad Bane, Boba, and several other bounty hunters such as Bosk, Embo, and Aura Singh, along with some other
Bosk.
bounty hunters. And it would feature at the very end. Cad Bane would get a new ship called the Justifier, but also the main point of this episode was Cad Bane always wanted to see who's better, him or Jango Fett, but then Jango Fett died before he could ever find out. So he's basically grooming Boba Fett until he can find out. So by the end of this episode, they have a duel, and after Boba allows himself to be captured by Tusken Raiders, and then at the very end, Boba and Cad Bane have their duel, and yeah, you get to see that the dent in Boba Fett's helmet comes from Cad Bane actually shooting him in the head in their like old Western style duel, and that it shows that Boba hits Cad Bane and maybe kills him. But either way, I highly doubt that's going to show up in the new Clone Wars, but we'll see. Other thing is Ahsoka's walkabout, which is basically Ahsoka just adjusting to normal life. She goes on the level 1313, meets a smuggler. And it
Then
seems very
we can get
unimportant.
the bounty hunter game finally. Oh, they just been trolling us these past 10 years.
There's the Kashyyyk arc, which would have showed Yoda establishing his good relations with the Wookiees that he has in Episode 3, which would also feature the return of the Bad Batch. It has a large role for Chewbacca, has references to Holiday Special.
No,
Um,
I'm good on that. Never mind.
they would use their religion and to summon giant tree gods and ride them. Uh, but they don't ride them. And then a Trandoshan leader is working with the Separatists to attack Kashyyyk. And in order to get out of the city, the Wookiees need to burn a portion of the forest, which is practical for the clones, but upsetting the Wookiees. And then Tarful would have prayed to the trees for permission. So basically, Wookiees and Bad Batch fight Kinraths, which Kinraths are giant.
What are Kinrats?
They're cool beasts.
But they'll never beat space dragons that you fight with the Force.
I'm kind of curious if this one will show up or not. I feel like it has a possibility, but I don't know. The other one, it was going to be a Rex and R2-D2 episode, which would have been a Top Gun homage, which have featured a rivalry between clone ground forces and pilots.
Oh,
And then basically them just having an adventure.
I think they should have Mud Troopers pop up.
It says
That's all.
WAC and the Astromechs from the D Squad would have appeared. So that's interesting because you know who they're connected to? Gregor, who isn't mentioned in any of this stuff, but I really hope has some explanation or pop up during the Clone Wars. But anyways, also Return to the Jedi, which would have featured Ahsoka returning to the Jedi, the depths of the Jedi Temple, where she discovers the Sith Temple, clouded in the dark side. Sidious would have attempted to get through into the Holocron vault, but Ahsoka would have held him back as through the door, seen in the art. Yuzong Vong arc, basically just it would have been an alien abduction with an X-Files type feel. And
Would they really?
the Yuzong Vong would not have been immune
Are,
to the Force.
are they
Or-
canon at all?
No, they're not. It's
Oh,
implied that they're canon, but it's never actually stated.
yeah, because I know like Thrawn's people are still like threatened by them.
Well,
Well, allegedly,
Yeah,
allegedly.
implied, but we don't know. Then there's also the Mon Cala arc, which would have featured a return to Mon Cala for Padme and Anakin. They would have met with Lee Char and the Tykes. And there's a decent amount of footage from this. But, let's see. They basically talk about how they want to throw out Palpatine, but
He is the Senate, though.
Then the Grand Vizier is murdered, and the Tykes have been appointed a provisional leader in his place. They meet with the Tykes, who express frustrations with Palpatine. So basically, hinting that these species are not going to like Palpatine, which they won't, because it'll be a major bonus to the rebellion. Then there's also the Siege of Mandalore, which would have featured. Well, this is 100% going to happen. The
Yeah,
sheets it shows the return of Mandalore, where Ahsoka basically comes back to help for this mission, where Anakin and Obi-Wan are called away to go rescue the Chancellor. So this episode takes place during Revenge of the Sith, and then Ahsoka fights Maul. And also Bo-Katan would be with her, who she appoints as leader. Then Ahsoka and the clones would have just have captured Maul, and Order 66, bam! Rex had his
bam.
chip removed already, so they escape and they pretend they kill each other and they go their separate ways, which has already been implied to happen in canon. But now we are definitely going to see that because that's in the trailer. Also, a bonus is that a early story concept art was about Plo Koon finding Ahsoka and taking her to the Jedi Temple, but it's a unique take on the Jedi recruitment where her village would have been excited about her going to the Jedi, and a bounty hunter character named Latrons, who seemed beautiful and kind, would have posed as a Jedi to try to kidnap Ahsoka, but the real Jedi, Plo Koon, who appeared more sinister and
Okay.
creepy, would be actually be,
Yep.
the good guy.
I was gonna say
that
that's what we
lesson.
learn here is the beautiful people are evil. So it's
Don't judge a
what we
book
learn
by
here.
its cover. Although I do have to admit, Plo Koon would look freaky to anyone who has never seen Plo Koon. So.
I don't know. He's pretty awesome. Like, take his mask off. Oh, I'm so
I
turned
know.
on right now.
But the trailer for the Clone Wars. So we don't see a ton, but what we do see is at the beginning, lots of ships landing and everything. Then we see Rex and Anakin. Anakin is sporting his new character model, which is based off of basically Revenge of the Sith, and it looks really, really good. And then you know who walks up next to them?
No, who?
The leader of the Bad Batch. So we don't know if we're going to get the Bad Batch arc, the original one that we've seen like some of the animation for, or if it'll be the Wookiee story that they show up in, or if it'll be a new story. We don't know as of yet. Personally, I hope it's the original story. You know why?
Why?
Because the original story is when they actually found Echo. So that would make it 100% canon. It's like heavily implied in canon that Echo's
I'd
alive.
like to talk about
but
this for a second.
we don't know it for sure.
My favorite meme that come out of the whole trailer was they have some of the clones come back, or it's Fives and Echo, and they're like, "Wait, what did you call us back here for?" And 99 pops up in the hologram, and he's like, "Oh, it's been a while."
Oh, that's just sad.
That's probably my favorite one.
But yeah. Which if you didn't know, the Bad Batch is actually Clone Force 99, so they are named in honor of 99, and that's why they were actually created, was after his heroic sacrifice. They were like, maybe genetically mutated clones could be a good thing. So then they specifically genetically mutated the clones to give them all basically superpowers. Yeah.
Because that always works in fiction.
The leader of said squadron is seen in the trailer, so we'll at least see something from them. I really, really hope that Echo comes back. I think it's pretty likely, seeing as how we're getting Bad Batch, and that was their introduction was that we know of that they were going to have was through bringing Echo back. So I'm hoping, but that's not a guarantee. Then the rest of the trailer is the Rex showing Anakin, the hologram, which is Bo-Katan and Ahsoka, saying it's been a long time. So yay, we're gonna get Siege of Mandalore because that's definitely what the mission is. Seen with Ahsoka and Bo-Katan. So that'll be cool to see. In
I
fact,
think they're gonna go and find space squid whales.
Nope, wrong show.
My
Now,
bad.
some
They're
expectations.
gonna find that time portal.
I think it's very, very likely that at some point we could see a young Jedi Padawan, Caleb Doom. If there's a scene at the Jedi Temple or something, I guarantee you he will walk by or something. Not necessarily that he'll say anything or, that there will be a scene or episode around him.
I think they at least gotta name drop him in some way.
I think they'll at least. I think he'll have a cameo. So, but I'm almost certain that'll happen. Anything else I expect to happen? I expect, obviously, the Siege on Mandalore. I would say that I kind of expect the Yoda and Bad Batch on Kashyyyk. That's my guess. I don't know. Maybe we'll see Ahsoka's walkabout, but in all honesty, I kind of hope we don't, because it seemed like one of the more boring episodes.
Do you
I
think we're gonna see like Yoda talk to a Force Ghost again, or no?
I would guess not, because he already finished up with that pretty much.
Ah, damn it. Oh, Ahsoka.
I mean, why do you need to see him talk to more Force Ghosts? You already saw
Cause
it
it's
happen. There's nothing for them to tell him.
metachlorians aren't real. I mean, I don't know. Like that'd be appreciated. It's
No, because midichlorians are real. You can
fake
deal with
news.
it. But yeah. So in terms of expectations, I feel like that's the only thing those are the only things I expect because it's only a single season, and it's being brought about to specifically, wrap up the end of the Clone Wars. I would maybe expect Gregor to be name dropped too. Maybe, maybe not. Um, I'm curious if we'll see Rex and Wolf and/or Gregor remove their inhibitor chips or not. That should be interesting to see. Um,
I, dude, that's gonna be a sad scene when like Rex's squad is like going nuts and shooting people.
uh-huh. I'm very
That's gonna be
curious
sad.
if Order 66. So we know we're at least going to see Order 66 on Mandalore. I'm curious if we will see other parts of Order 66. I think originally they did not plan to, but since this new season is using some of that stuff, but also probably some new stuff, I'm curious if they're going to basically show some more Order 66 happen, which I
Oh,
think they could pull off
I
insanely well. Because it'll be a
I
lot
have a
more
question.
emotional. Because we'll get to see
I
the
have,
clones actually be sad.
I have a question for you with Ahsoka. Do you think the owl thing is gonna pop up?
I doubt it. I think it's a
Uh,
Lothal animal. Well, not
is it?
necessarily Lothal. I only think it's a Rebels thing. They never tied into animals as much in the Clone Wars.
I'm just trying to contribute, Eric.
It's possible. I just
So I'm
don't think so.
trying.
We'll get to
Trying.
see her
I'm
with her
sorry.
green lightsabers again, though. But I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
I would love to see Order 66 again, told from this perspective of this team. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, we know we're at least going to see it with the clones from the 501st Painted Orange fighting with Ahsoka, but I'm very curious if we'll see anything else across the galaxy, because in all honesty, like, those are some of the stronger scenes from Revenge of the Sith, but there's also, like, no emotional... It's, like, emotional because the Jedi are dying, but
It's also some of the funnier ones.
The Clone Wars is what made you care about the clones, so I feel like the Clone Wars can show an even more tragic side where it's like, this isn't happy for the clones. Like, this is messing with them, and like, this isn't. It's not like this isn't just, oh yeah, we don't care about the Jedi. Like, execute them. Yeah, sure. It's like, no, 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 no. They're being forced against their will to do so. It's really messed up. But yeah, I don't know. Now, what do I hope? I hope Echo. I hope Echo comes back for sure. I would like to see Cad Bane return. I would rather them not return him, though, if it's going to be to see him die.
Yes, I agree.
I mean,
In
in
my
all
mind, he's still
fairness,
going
if
strong.
someone's going to take him out, Boba Fett's the one to take him out. But
No, 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 no.
I
In my
would
mind, he's
prefer
still
him
going
to,
strong.
yeah, I
He
prefer him
he
to be
is
alive.
he's pretty much the Thrawn of Clone Wars. He's blue. He's red. He knows what he's doing.
That's true, actually. Cad Bane and Thrawn do have a lot of similarities. A lot of differences, but also a lot of similarities. I don't think we'll see the Mon Cala arc, but only because that's been played out a bunch in Star Wars canon, especially recently with the Vader comic, and then also the Star Wars comic showing King Lechar's end and everything. So
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think they'll
You think?
bother with this.
You, do you think we'll see any of the Inquisitors like when they're still like Padawans and Jedi?
Ooh, like as cameos, I bet we will. I bet we
That
will
I
at
would
least. I bet
imagine.
we'll at least see a couple of. Like, I don't think they'll be name dropped or anything. Well, also because we don't know
Yeah.
any of their names. But I bet we'll see at least one or two of them in the background. Again, if there's anything at the Jedi Temple. If there isn't anything at the Jedi Temple, then who knows? Like it's probably unlikely, but I feel like there's got to be at least a scene or two that take place at the Jedi Temple. In which case, yes, I would totally keep your eye out in the background for some Inquisitor characters that we either see in
I
Rebels or in the Star Wars Vader comics.
I love the one with he uses two lightsabers, I think.
Oh, the one that gets shot during the Order 66 rehash.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, we probably will not see him because he was imprisoned. He was in the Mace Windu comic, actually.
Yeah, I know there's the one with the ponytail. The one with like the gray hair and the ponytail.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I was making sure that was the same
he's
person.
in prison during the Clone Wars
Ah, that sucks.
because of
That
what
would have been
happened
cool.
during the Mace Windu comic, which is a prequel to the Clone Wars. Uh, but yeah, so I think that could be very. That's actually I didn't even think about that as cameos. Other Rebels characters highly. You know what? It's possible we could at least hear about. I bet we'll get a name drop for the House of Ren. I mean, wait, it's House
I
of
would
Ren, the
imagine.
Clan of Ren. I don't know if we'll see anything of Sabine because she would be super
Two.
young. It's
Yeah.
possible we could see her parents, but I feel like it's more like they will just name drop the Clan Ren at some
I would
point
have bet
during the battle.
they might. I think at the very least they'd have like some of her dad's art or something
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, I think that's pretty likely. Um,
Like I just think this entire season just gonna be like sitting there watching like, haha, I get that one.
I'm curious if Thrawn could show up as a cameo. Do you think it's possible? I would love that.
I oh yeah, I'd be totally
I
cool with
mean,
it.
I think it's unlikely considering the fact which I need to read it. I bought it now. Thrawn Alliances covers Anakin and Thrawn meeting during the Clone Wars, and from what I know of it, it seems like it's a pretty definitive like end to like he shows up and he leaves. Now, is it possible they could retell some of that? Maybe, but they don't seem to do that very often with the canon. So my guess is not. Who knows? Maybe Anakin could name drop him at some point, like mention his mission with
This
Thrawn
blue
or something.
guy,
Or, yeah,
he's
something.
pretty cool.
I don't know, but either way, uh, anyone else? Is there anything like from Revenge of the Sith that you feel like they'll try to pad out? Do you think? Okay, also returning characters. Do you think we'll see Grievous? Do you think we'll see Dooku? Do you think we'll see Ventress? My guess for Ventress at the very least is no, because we know her fate.
Yeah, I don't see her popping back up. I don't see. Actually, no. I'd like to see like, like you wanted the cutaways for like Order 66. If we cut to her for like a few seconds, I think that'd be cool to see.
No, Ventress doesn't die during Order 66. Though.
I know, but just like to see like her reaction to it.
No, Ventress dies before Order 66.
Does she?
Yeah, Dooku kills her.
Ah, see, it's
And then that drives Quinlan
Yeah.
back to the light. So I think that we will very likely see Quinlan Voss.
The fine details that always get me.
Because Quinlan Voss was, drawn away from everything during the Clone Wars, but then after Ventress's, who he, fell in love with, they were actually a couple. After her death, he came back to the light, and that's why. And basically, they just needed to figure out a way to make him come back because he's mentioned. They made him turn dark in their stories, and then there's a mention of him actually leading a battle during Revenge of the Sith. So they're like, yeah, he comes back. But basically, he does a whole bunch of spying and double stabbing. It's a lot of spy stuff, undercover agent stuff. But eventually, he does come back for real. So my guess is we will see him at some point. I don't think it'll be necessarily reference what happens with him in Ventress, but Dooku and Grievous. I would hope and guess Grievous will come back.
Yeah, I would kind of think you'd have to because like they can only fight like random people for so many episodes.
Dooku. Do you think Dooku will do anything? Like I'm sure he'll pop up in a hologram or give orders or something, but I don't know. Do you see him doing anything?
I'd kind of like to see him talking to Sidious and just being like, "Hey, like here's the plan to kidnap you, and here's our goal out of that."
That would be very cool, especially if he talks about because it's made clear in several material that he wanted to turn Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So if he talked about that, meanwhile, we all know that yes, there's going to be a turn, but that's not who's going to get turned, and it's not
What?
going to go the way that Dooku thinks. I think it would be
Spoilers.
very good if we got some more. I don't know. The one thing I don't like about the Clone Wars is it doesn't make Dooku a very sympathetic or complex character, which he really is.
Oh
Material
yeah,
either
it's very
seems
much sad.
material in Star Wars does this weird thing with Dooku as a character where it portrays him as like this super sympathetic character that's basically right, or material of him portrays him as this one-sided villain, like mustache twirling villain, where he's literally just like, I am evil, and like I am going to fight you because I'm evil, and this is my evil plan. Like it's that's one thing they're pretty good at consistency. That is, Dooku is like the one character that like Star Wars just made very interesting, but then
Yep.
sucks at remembering that he's interesting.
I'm just because I remember like after like doing these for a while, I watched like Attack of the Clones, and like when he has like Obi-Wan shot, he's pretty much just like, please listen to me.
Yes, and then he just shows up in Revenge of the Sith, and like basically we get almost nothing of Dooku in movies. Like we get very beginning, very end, just like the entire Clone Wars. But then throughout the Clone Wars conflict, like the cartoon, he's just portrayed as a straight up evil dude. When you dig further into other material, he was not. He was actually trying to be a good guy. It's crazy. So I would
If
love
we
to see it if they actually played off some sympathetic stuff in this season, but I highly doubt it. I would like some at least some foreshadowing to Revenge of the Sith with him though,
I
and like the
I think it'd be
planning and
very
stuff.
sad, but very good if you had a scene with him just being like with himself being like, okay, like this isn't what I wanted, but like we're kind of too far gone, so I gotta commit here.
I agree. I think that would be great. Um, Grievous. I would love it if he showed up and was either. I would love
Just
it. I would
just being awesome.
love it, but it's not going to happen. If he, if specifically a moment that I would love is that if Mace Windu crushed his torso.
They're like, hey, Grievous, do
You
you
know what
wanna?
you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? Yeah, from the
yeah.
animated word. That's how it's explained why he's so weak during Revenge of the Sith. I don't expect that, but I would love it if they did something, either that or something else to explain
Uh,
like why
yeah,
he
if they were
just straight up sucks in Revenge of the Sith.
or if he doesn't show up and they're just like, hey, like Grievous is recovering from this fight that happened.
Or it could literally be he's sick. Like I mean, I would prefer it to be something cool, but like if you just like
His two organs are dying right now.
so like I don't care what it is, just I would like some explanation with him in Revenge of the Sith doing some of that. Uh, what else during Revenge of the Sith?
Ray, just have Ray show up out of nowhere
Yeah.
through the time portal of the wolves.
Trying to think. I
Uh,
don't, maybe some more Vader foreshadowing. Like I'm
the
just trying.
Bendu.
Not gonna happen. It'd be cool, but never. No, not
Just
gonna happen.
Ahsoka's with the Bendu the whole time. Just like, here's what's up.
That would actually be cool, but I don't know. Maybe this would be cool if we actually got to see some new clones like that we do not know of. Or like they could be characters we know of, but like Commander Doom or like certain things like that, where they are characters that like
Screw. I think it's Commander Fox, or like the red one that was
the
gonna
worst
like.
one. Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
screw him.
we know what happens to him.
In my mind, he just gets ripped in half.
No, Vader kills him.
Nice, nice.
In the Vader comics, Vader straight up kills him because Fox didn't tell the clones to not shoot Vader, so they're just like, "Oh, Jedi and Jedi with red lightsaber," because this is literally
Is
right
that
after Revenge
is that
of
when
the
he
Sith.
crashes into the space station?
I think so, yeah. And
Oh,
then
I
and
love
then
it.
he's just
That's
like you literally failed at your one job. You're the worst. I hate you. Which everybody in the Clone Wars hates Fox, rightfully so. He killed Five, so like I liked him before that, but I understood why in canon why people didn't like him. But like once Fives died, it's like nope, kill him.
You
I
did
do
this
I
to
do want
us.
an action figure of him though, because I love his armor, especially the Phase 2 armor. But even if it's just to get him murdered, like have him in a position where everyone's killing Fox. But I don't know. I love his armor, but yeah, Fox sucks.
The Bad Batch. Would we have to? If like yeah, they're probably gonna have the Bad Batch in there. Do you think? Well, Do we know what happens to them?
No,
Like
we don't.
definitively?
I would love it if we found out that they survived, which they
I
aren't the
don't know.
ones being executed, but like that they didn't partake in Order 66, which they are an independent thing. They're not tied to a Jedi actually, which is very weird for a clone company. But so it's very likely actually. So it'd be cool for some confirmation on them, but yeah, they're possible. I think Commander Doom is a strong possibility. That's another character I would love to see make a cameo just because he's so cool.
Did you know his name? His name's Commander Doom. He has to show up.
He's so cool. Oh, Admiral Trench dying by Anakin's hand. I think that's something we
Admiral,
could see in terms of
Admiral Trench?
Spider Dude.
Oh, I thought he was dead. I thought he dies like a second time already.
No, no, no. He shows up and he has cyborg
Yeah, I thought
parts.
he dies again.
No, no, that's in that was in an unreleased episode,
Oh, okay.
which I
All right.
think is very. I think that's possible. We could see that because one. Oh no no no! Well no, we know he showed up again with the cyborg parts, but
Yeah.
that was when that's Five's death arc. He didn't die.
Huh.
He wasn't killed in that
Well,
because
I
they were
figured
too
since he's a
distracted because they didn't keep fighting. They like retreated and are like, God, what just happened? And then they deal with all of the Order 60 stuff with Order 66 stuff which ends up with Five's dying. Um,
no.
So yeah, which is why I
No.
really, really hope that Echo is brought back in this season. If there's one thing that like I could ask to be guaranteed, it's Echo. I would also, again, really, really love to see Gregor, and just what the heck happens in between his episode where we see him and him pretty much die, and then Rebels.
And he's pretty crazy. Don't forget he's
How
pretty
did he
crazy too.
live? I mean, obviously the bomb. My guess is that explosion made him even more, because he already suffered from PTSD and amnesia and
I like
stuff.
to
But I
think
feel
of
like
him as like I think of him as like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings.
I think that messed with his mind even more, and so he literally is like
Yeah.
borderline insane. But like, I want to know how the heck he got out of there alive and then was picked up by Rex eventually. Like like just how did that happen? But yeah, some more clone. Although because he is one of the clone commanders we get to see, I would love some more clone command. We do get the cameo, after Savage Opress's murder of his first Jedi kills. The clone commando squad shows up and they look so good. I would love it if we got some more clone commandos, but
Mud troopers all the way.
no, mud troopers are a thing of the future. They are not this advanced yet.
Sand troopers, yes, we have those.
Yeah.
None of this mud.
But yeah,
Uh,
so I honestly, is there anything else that you like really, really want to show up in this show?
Oh, okay. I think there's definitely gonna be like some Padme and Anakin moments.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which is gonna be a little sad. I feel like they'll add a sad touch to
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah, they're really gonna push it. I think like how in love they are. They're really gonna push that.
Which this is what sucks because like it's great, but like it's great that they can give us such care about these characters because then when you watch Revenge of the Sith, like even though it's not the greatest movie, it's not as bad as the other two prequel
Last half
movies, but-
hour is the best. I don't know. What
Yeah,
you're
but
talking
like
about.
it makes it even like the thing was like it was a cool movie, but like it was
We
not
just didn't have enough.
nearly. It's still sad, like even without. But like once you watch the Clone Wars, it's freaking heartbreaking. Certain parts of
Yep.
that, like it is hard to watch at certain points because it's just you get so much time with these characters, and so I think they are definitely going to play that up. They're probably
Yeah.
also going to play up Anakin and Obi-Wan even more, which they have all the show.
Do you
But
think? Do you think they're gonna with do you think that thing with Ahsoka happens right at the beginning, or is that gonna happen later?
oh, that's the season finale. I'm almost certain.
Because then I think they're gonna have to show like how Anakin kind of like copes now that she's gone. Like he doesn't have that companion anymore.
Well, I mean, that's what's going to happen throughout. Like, Anakin isn't going to have Ahsoka until that arc, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the last arc of the show.
Yeah, so I
So-
figured they're gonna have to show. I feel like they're gonna show him being more reckless or something, or like being more aggressive.
Yeah, there was also, I think, in one of the episode, in the one of the unfinished episodes, there was him talking with Obi-Wan and arguing over like like, yeah, she's gone, and it's because like we were basically like the Jedi Order sucks, and everyone's like, but that's not the way to look about it. Like she left. He's like, cause we made her. Like, what choice did we give her and stuff like that. So like he was
And he just
clearly
screams,
angry about it.
no.
So, yeah,
Yeah, they're just. I think
Battle.
it's gonna go well.
I think
Dave
it's going to
Filoni's my
go
hero.
extremely well. Dave Filoni knows what he's doing.
I'm gonna
So.
cosplay as him.
Which is another reason that, again, this will be next week's episode, but another reason that I'm actually still excited for Star Wars Resistance, because, yeah, it looks different, and even if you don't like it, you can get used to it after a while watching it. It's like, I'm curious to see the
Oh,
story.
I'll
'Cause
admit, I'm not a big fan of the art style, but I'll still watch it. Yeah.
I like it. I understand why people don't like it. I don't love it either, though. Like, don't get me wrong. I would prefer something along the lines of Rebels or Clone Wars, but I'm fine with how it is. I'm also used to it because there have been several Transformers shows that are in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
style. But again, it's different for people versus robots. But again, next episode, this is all about Clone Wars. Yeah, I'm freaking
Wait,
excited, man.
when's Resistance come out?
Resistance comes out in like a week.
Okay, yeah, I
Of us
wasn't
recording
100%
this.
sure. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I've been focused on my schoolwork. My
No, no, no.
apologies.
I didn't mean like in it, like you don't know. I meant like as in
Uh,
Resistance comes out in a week. Like holy
yeah,
crap! So
yeah,
I'm very
I'm
interested
gonna
in that.
watch it.
The new Transformers show, Cyberverse, just came out a couple
I didn't
days
even know they
ago.
had another one.
Oh, it just started, literally like 2 days ago. It started airing on Cartoon Network site, the first 2 episodes. So
This is like, is this more an adult themed one? I forget.
the new Transformers show or the
Yeah,
Resistance?
the Transformer show.
As of right now, no, but it has a lot of neat callbacks, I think, for past Transformer shows and stuff. So it's like it's still aimed at kids, but in all honesty, there's only 2 episodes, so it's really hard to tell if the story they're going to do is deep or not. My guess is probably not, but it still is
I don't know.
it still
I
seems
think
high
if they,
quality. So
I think if they did like a Young Justice style kind of show with
you
it,
should
or
watch
like,
you should watch Transformers Prime. It's darker than Young Justice, and also the
whoa,
animation's way
whoa,
better. The
whoa.
animation won awards.
They don't have
So.
people disintegrating. They don't
Oh
have
no no
that.
no! They have way worse stuff. They have brutal stuff in Prime. Prime is as dark as a Transformer show can get. So, but yeah, I think
I'll
that's
show
about
you.
it for this episode. So, if you aren't already, follow at Nerdy Geek Talk on Twitter at Nerdy Geek Talk, which I just said. But you could also, again, this Mandalore Mandate, we have Holocron Herald. There's all of our other shows, like we'll have NGT reviews. Misaligned should also be coming back on an alternating schedule with NGT reviews, sorry, and then also Steel City Bots. So by subscribing to Nerdy Geek Talk at any place you listen to podcasts, Google Play, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, all that good stuff, Nerdy Geek Talk is our network. You'll get access to all those shows when they go up. Personally, you can find me at Eric Crowbar on Twitter. I tweet lots, so definitely the fast way to contact me. And at Steel... So that's not the show. At Aramis Prime on Instagram, where I post mainly desk bots and other... That's a little bit more personal life stuff, too, sometimes, but mainly desk bots. I think that's about it. Luke, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Oh, you can find me on the Most Wanted, and then there's also Twitter at Darth_Sand66, where I like to talk about comics a lot and then make fun of people.
Yep. Which maybe we should start
I
doing
also like
Awesome
making fun of
Asylum
Eric
again.
too.
This is true. Maybe we should start doing Awesome Asylum again too. So.
Oh, have you ever? Oh, you've never heard me rant about a comic? Like it's hysterical. Like while it's the only thing. Like while I'm reading it, I will just randomly make noises.
Well, I've heard you rant about the Vader comics.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's like freaking like Green Lantern. Like I'll be like throwing the book around while I'm reading it. It's hilarious.
But yeah, so that's about it for this one. Definitely stay tuned for Holocron Herald coming back, and then the next episode of this, which John should be back for. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I'll see how I can bring them back. I'll see what I can piece together. I'll get one of those Geonosian worms. There we go.
Oh yeah, that'll work. So next time it'll be with Geonosian Worm John. But anyways, that's about it. So thanks for listening. Bye.
Ball.